good morning. Depend on your time and your location. This is Read Biafra TV. Please, I shall welcome you this evening. Please endeavor to welcome one another as you see the headline, our capture this evening, that we are about to treat this evening. Under Humanitarian Movement, Icrc, can passports and ID card issued by government in exile recognized in this world without international recognition of the new state? That is the program that brings us here this evening that we need to discuss as we, as the Biafran people, under only one government of United States of Biafra, is about to move on. So as we are coming in, please endeavor to like and share the program, because we need to know things as things are unfolding. So we're supposed to be queue on the line to understand the level and the area and the things we have to accept and things that we don't need to accept, and also to know when someone is coming to deceive you. That is why we are here, to put those measures down for you to understand that it is our right at this stage for us to accept our international passport that is coming and the ID card. All these things are very important at this moment that we are into right now. That is why we as the Biafran people must adhere to the important issues like this, that nobody can deceive us anymore, that within yourself, that you will understand the importance of all this without someone letting you know. That is why we are trying to come out here to present you what the world is all about and what it means to have government in exile that is active, that is effective, working for his own people to be able to seek recognition for a new country. As the country is lacking recognition, can their ID card has value be working for them? Can their international passport work for them? That is why we are here this wonderful evening, for us to know what is. Excuse my people, 1 minute. So it is very important that we, as the Biafran people, understand what we are doing. Please tell him to load the music now, please. So as we are moving on this our stage right now, for us to know everything and how things work, as we are preparing ourselves to become a country, as we're preparing ourselves on things that are coming. That is why we also here this evening to let you know that a country can be declared or we are declared despite lack of recognition, that their passport can easily work for them, that they can use their passport to travel, they can use their passport to move around, their ID card can also work for them to identify. That is why it is very important. So at this stage that we are into, as the people of Biafra, as you are hearing from the government of the USB about very soon our passport will be out, for you to know that it's your right to go and pick up that ID card, pick up your passport. It can use it. Let us know if at all we are waiting for recognition. Let's assuming today that we have our passport. Can we use to travel to any other country, both in Africa, both in Europe, both in Asia? For you to know if those things that governments are telling you, whether is it the right thing or the wrong one. That is why we are going to go to this program this evening for we all to understand exact what we supposed to do at this stage that we are into. That only what will save us is what? Knowing the truth. And this truth is what will set us free. We are also here to present you those truths without deviating at all on it. Yes, I thank you. Before we further more on, I thank you, my brother, Emma. Thank you so much for being here. You are the first person on our page this evening. So as we are going this live this evening, please endeavor to like and share the program. If you never do so, I urge you to touch the like button. Just like and share the program. Why is it important? Once you like the program, somebody on your own contact will know that we are live. That is why we always urge you to like and share the program. That is how our people are going to know that things are happening, and they do have to come here to listen for the real truth. Yes, Christy Biafra, good evening from here. I salute you and see you. Thank you so much for being here. That is why it's very important. Both those the homeland, both those in old Anambra, my former state, Ikemba, Odimegu, Omambala, for them to know the importance of this government of the USB and why everybody must queue in to the United States of Biafra and all the movement of United States of Biafra at this point. For you to know that you have a government that is very effective. Our topic is under humanitarian movement, Icrc, can passport and ID card issued by government in exile being recognized in this world? Can such a passport, can such ID card work for their people? And why also that the people need this passport, need this ID card? These are the areas that we want to touchlight this evening. So all of us, as we are listening, so you may understand the importance of all the documents that the government of the USB is giving to you. Number two, for you to know that without a country being recognized officially from the international global community, that the ID card, that the passports can be used, you can use it to travel. We are not the first country. We are not going to be the last. And you know that whenever I come here, I must also give you what I am telling you, the countries that those things has happened. The country that all these things has happened. That is why we want you to know that people of Biafra at this stage, we have United States of Biafra as our government. We have the government and we have USB as our country. That without this recognition that we are waiting for, if a government in exile under de facto can issue ID card, and this ID card, the world or passport, the world can recognize these two things. And how can we use it to travel? Is it possible? As we are moving, we all is going to understand it this same. Just calm yourself down. Let us do our sharing to our brothers and our sisters that always want us to give them the program. So before we move on, this evening, we must go straight on this issue because it's part of what is bothering all of us. Biafra ID card, Biafra passport, that is on the line. That it is what's on the line. Let us understand, if the effort of the government without international recognition, without being in Biafra land, if our passports can be recognized, as we are waiting for international recognition. Remember the word, as we are waiting for international recognition, if our passports can be recognized in the world for us to use it to travel, if any country can do that for us. Triple M, I see you. Good evening from here. Thank you so much. One of my people. That is why we are here, for the citizens of Biafra to understand why the government of USB is the only option, is the only solution for we all. That is why it is important at this stage. We can be looking at it this evening to the countries, whether in exile, with that recognition, countries in the world that has such a thing, has it ever happened in the entire life of being country that lack international recognition? We want to know that as also. We want to also know those that was in exile and issue passport, ID card, and being in exile, their passport is being used in this present country as we are into this evening. That is why, for you to know that all that your government is doing is in line. There is particular law that guides it. In that law, they first call it what? Humanitarian movement. In abbreviation, they use the word Icrc is what they use. This is a governing body where you can apply. They can also allow you, even in, they call it ICI. All these things are organizations that are in this world. All of them has their job. All of them has their job. They write the government of in exile issue passport. We're also going to know if they have that right also to issue a passport. A government in exile, did they have right to issue passport? If they issue this passport, can some countries in agreement with them allow their citizens to use the passport to travel, to use the ID card to identify themselves in any country that they are? These are the things that we need to know. These are the things. So whenever the passport comes out, you rush. Also, as we're talking about our ID card, rush and go and get your authentic ID card. I am doing my own also to make sure I receive my own. So whenever I come here, I can show it to you. It is very important that at this stage that we are into, that we have to do what? Accept the ID card from the government, accept our passports, for us to get ready to travel to different countries in the world. That is why we must adhere to the instruction of the United States of Biafra by this ID card, this passport. I'm telling you that under the international law, that all these things are real, and all these things are for us to have it, to prove that we have a government. That is why it is very necessary. Because when you know the value of something, when you know the right of what they are asking you to take, so you can be able to go and take it. Remember that those who are telling you today, the ID card is this, but Ugo 247 has this ID card. Adando Cholazuba has this ID card. All these criminals around, Ogenkerie and all of them, they all have this ID card. They have the ID card. But today, they are fighting, kicking against it because they are not genuine. Despite everything that is happening in the world right now, it is our right. It is our inalienable right to choose our government. And we have chosen. The Biafras have spoke in a large number. And there is no two ways about it. Let this large number in diaspora move out to pick up their ID card to prove to the world that there is a permanent population of the people of United States of Biafra. I hope you are following. To prove to the world that there is a permanent population of the people living in the homeland, that this are those also, and those are living in abroad, in exile also, that they all together one people. Please, if you live in diaspora, go and take your ID card with immediate effect. Prepare for wait for your passport to emerge. Once the passport emerge, please accept it. accept the passport for you to also helping government of the USB to prove to the world that there is a citizens of this country called United States of Biafra. I hope you are following. There is what? Citizens of United States of Biafra. It's also in line of what? Counting numbers of the Biafrans, the how many number they have in abroad, to know the exact citizens that's in abroad also. It's what they call census. It's part of it. When we are presenting the world that over 50 million Biafrans voted for our self-referendum, when it's come to the ID card, over 20, 30 million not take the ID card. It is somehow reason it on your own. If we are presenting to the world, okay, let it be that when we said we ask people in diaspora to first take this ID card, this passport, let the number of people in diaspora become over 50 million. Do you know that there is a countries today that achieve recognition? They are only 6 point something million in their numbers and their country. Talk less of. So if you believe in this government and you are not planning, you are not working towards taking the ID card, towards taking the passport once in lands, you are not a good citizen of Biafra. You are not a good citizen of United States of Biafra. That is why it's very important for you as a person to do what? To go and take, to prove what? That you are a very peaceful citizen of United States of Biafra that also abide by the instruction and the laws of the United States of Biafra Republic government, which is very, very important. If you are not doing that, believe you me, you are setting the hands, you are turning the hands of the clock back. So for you to turn it front, you must go and do what? Accept this ID card. At this time that we are into, you must accept the ID card. It is very important. It is our right. It is our what? Our inalienable right to accept this passport, to accept our ID card until the government approve the link for those in the homeland. Remember that when our self-referendum vote was casted, that those in the homeland voted more than those in abroad. Do you want to happen again? Let me ask you. Every country pays money to achieve their ID card and their passport, which no country issue ID card and the passport free for their country. So, what is holding you? What is that is keeping you? Why are you not taking the ID card? Why are you not be moved to take the ID card that will save you, that you can use to even get work tomorrow in a country where you are because of the quality of this ID card? Of what? Because of the quality of this ID card. That is why it is very imperative that you as a Biafran understand that ID card is for your own benefit. The ID card is for your own benefit. This ID card we're talking about is for what? For your own benefit, because it can favor you. There is those that are having problem. Once they present the ID card, they allow them to go. You have heard it from many platforms. People has bear such witness through our fundraising. People has given testimony about United States of Biafra ID card. You know that will be told that it's going to be one of the best in the world, and you know that everything Simon Ekpa is doing must be the best with Dr. Ngozi Arabeze as second in command. As what? As second in command. And what we are discussing this evening, many countries in Africa, in Europe, even this present 21st century has gone through that process. Their passport is organized, the ID card is working for them. So our own, that is why I always use this word, that we are not going to be the first, neither are we going to be the last. We are not going to be the first, and we are not going to be the last. It's on a high time that is your right to go and acquire United States of Biafra ID card by the office of or by the government of Dr. Ngozi Orabeze. If not through this way that you acquire this passport, that's about one chance. In the office. Do not mind anything that's happening right now. It is things that will happen for you to take Biafra serious. The question is, in your life, did you take Biafra cause serious? In your life, did you as a human being take Biafra cause serious, or it's a second option for you or third option for you? If you like that, you are not serious, and what you are doing is not the best that you can do. On the time that we are into at this stage, anything you hear from the government of USB, rush and embrace it. Anything you hear from our DPM mouth, rush and embrace it. Anything you see from her S handle, rush and read it for you to understand where we are today. Because somebody must pilot the affair as assistant, not as a leader, and not as removing the leaders that are there to put any other one. It never happened before. So whatever have not happened before can never happen in our own time. That is why we will not allow the criminals and the hijackers to come and destroy this movement. How can you help? You can only help when you are paying for listening for the instructions, taking command from office of our Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabeze, and all the cabinet members. It is very important. It is a real thing if you can do that. It's your right. It's your right. It's part of the mandate, because the mandate will come with many things. The mandate will come with satisfaction. The mandate will come to provide you something. Are you listening? The mandate must come to provide you something that you are going to benefit from it. That is where we are. And that is what United States of Biafra is doing for you. That is what United States of Biafra is doing for you. That is why I ask you, do not panic. We are going home. Forget this noise you are seeing. Forget all this shenanigans that you are seeing happening today. Forget those this government and calling manner of names. It doesn't matter. The world know that when a new country is being declared, the day we have rebel, have saboteurs. The world knows about rebel, pulpit, loyalists of those that you want to exit from. They are going to fight against you, try to stop you. But your consistency is the key, and we must continue on that. That is why I am calling on you to support your government of the United States of Biafra, support your governors in your homeland, in the territories of Biafra. In our territory, you must support your state also, as you are supporting United States of Biafra government for move. Because remember, we are running a state where the power belongs to the state. You are the one to build your state. You are the one to sponsor your state. So do not just come and put hand on your head, on your leg, fold it and waiting to government to give you everything. Because they already told you how Biafra land is going to be, that you are going to be in charge of your state, depend on your things that you are getting from that state. Depend on the businesses and every other thing. That is why at this stage that we are into, support USB, support your territory. All these things are very important at this stage. But all are in one, leading forward to our official international recognition. That is why it is very imperative at this time, at this stage that we are into, that you try anything possible to make sure that United States of Biafra is moving forward. When you are taking ID card, you are making this government to move forward. When you are taking instructions, you are making the government to move forward. Do not, when government give order, you start complaining, you start crying. What are you crying for? Whatever has happened this time around, Chukwu Kabiama knows that all this will happen. And we will not achieve Biafra without having saboteurs, without having Ndikwe na Ndiekwege. It must surely come. And here it has come. And nobody will run away from this fact and this truth. Because everything that we are doing at this stage is to make sure that we protect our mandate, that we did not fall back or go back like what happened to Chukwemeka Odumegwu, that makes Biafra to be reintegrated into Nigeria back. And that is our problem till today. That is our problem till today. We are also letting the world to know that we have met every criteria to become a sovereignty, to become a recognized country in the eyes of the international global community. We also let them to know that we have what? Our full permanent population that are moving people of Biafra, that are giving us order, that are taking care of us. That is why you must embrace the government in everything you do. That is why it's very important for you to know the work of your government, for you to know that government is there for you and making sure, proving everything otherwise, for us to go home without all this doubting Thomas. Do you know that nobody can stop this movement that we are into unless we or the government decide to stop it? Or unless the government of USB decide to stop this movement. That is only when it will stop. Every other group are rebel. Every other group are saboteurs. Every other group are bunch of betrayers. That is who they are. Those, whether electing or not electing, but we will come to that tomorrow to prove one or two things to you. So, I want you to know that the government you have is a government that will make you to have dignity. A government that will restore your respect. A government that will make you to the world to see you as one of important human beings. That is the government you have. Hey. My God, good evening from here. My senior comrade, I salute you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming across our program this evening. We are here to do whatever we can to let our people know that it is our right to accept our ID card. That it is our right to do what? To go home. We can't go home without having all these things. And it is also letting our people to know that the right does not end there, that it is also what will trigger everything that we are expecting to see. Because what we are looking for is coming with many things. One leads to one. One leads to one. This is how it leads to. So at this stage, let all of us gather together on the side of United States of Biafra government, that the only government for the people, that are going to set us free, that are going to do all this I am counting for you, by you also helping to prove this population of people of United States of Biafra, to prove that the governments are effective and they are doing their job very well. That is why I am calling on you this evening to maintain this status of what? That Biafra ID card must be taken by you, by me, by all the citizens of United States of what? Biafra. Thank you so much. Now we are going to the program. We have used our maximum 28 minutes that we normally do to lay down what we are here to this evening. We have done that. So it is right now, we got to move to play you what's the laws and how they see the government of Exile that issue ID card, passport to their people. And also, for us also know whether if we are the first people that are issuing ID card through a government in Exile. Let us understand it, because the Biafra I am looking for is not Biafra of my brain. It's Biafra that I need to see how others have achieved it and they follow that line, add it small something to make it very fast, more than the way they do their own. What is our headline? Under humanitarian movement, in bracket Icrc, can a passport Can a passport and ID card issued by government in exile recognized when a country is not officially recognized? Abara, good evening from here. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you. Please like and share the program. If it is your first time coming, there is a 3 dot in front of you. Click on that 3 dot, it will open. Then you will see like and share. Share the program for others to know the truth. Because where the truth is, there is a lot of things that want to hinder this truth. But no matter how it happens, the truth must surely emerge. Listen to this.
Passports issued by governments in exile or authorities operating outside their home territory are rarely recognized as official travel documents. Because these governments lack control over a physical territory, most countries refuse to stamp booklets for fear of damaging diplomatic ties with the home government. However, there are a few unique cases where specific documents or passports are used for humanitarian and practical travel. 1. Tibet, the Identity Certificate, IC. The Central Tibetan Administration, CTA, based in Dharamshala, India, is perhaps the most organized government in exile. While the CTA issues a green book, identity card, to Tibetans, it is not a travel document. The humanitarian solution. To allow Tibetans to travel, the Indian government issues a yellow booklet called an Identity Certificate, IC. Recognition. Because it is issued by India for humanitarian reasons, to help stateless refugees, the IC is accepted by many countries, including the USA, Switzerland, Canada, and several EU nations. It serves as a passport for Tibetans in exile, even though their government is not officially recognized. 2. Belarus, the new Belarus passport.
Please, my people, 1 minute. 1 minute, my people. We'll be back. 1 minute. What's happened to our speaker this evening? One minute.
Proposed. Following the disputed 2020 elections, the Democratic opposition led by Svietlana Tsikhanouskaya formed a transitional cabinet in exile. In 2023, after the current Belarusian government stopped renewing passports for citizens abroad, the exile cabinet designed a new Belarus passport. Humanitarian movement. As of early 2026, this document is undergoing a push for recognition in the European Union. Status. While not yet a standard passport, several Baltic states and the European Parliament have discussed accepting it on a humanitarian basis so that exiled Belarusians do not become undocumented. 3. Hmong and other indigenous exile passports. Some groups, like the Hmong or certain Native American nations, issue their own national passports. Recognition. These are almost never recognized for international flight. However, they are occasionally accepted at specific land borders, or for ceremonial/humanitarian recognition by sympathetic organizations. For actual international travel, these individuals must almost always use a document from the country where they currently reside, like a refugee travel document. 4. The laissez-passer, the universal alternative. When an exile government's passport is rejected, the humanitarian movement usually relies on the 1951 Refugee Convention travel document. How it works. If you belong to an exile group, like the National Unity Government of Myanmar, you don't travel on an exile passport. Instead, you apply to the country where you are living, e.g., Thailand, USA, Germany, for a refugee travel document. International recognition. This document is recognized by nearly every country that signed the UN Refugee Convention, effectively replacing the need for an unrecognized exile passport. Summary table. Exile group. Document type. Main recognizing countries. Reason for recognition. Tibet, CTA. Identity certificate, IC. USA, India, EU. Humanitarian/stateless status. Belarus, exile. New Belarus passport. Being debated, mostly EU. Political protection/human rights. Myanmar, NUG. Refugee document. Global UN signatories. Legal protection for refugees. Would you like me to find out how a person from a specific exile group can apply for a recognized humanitarian travel document?
Yes. Hold on. Let us go into Africa issue. Let us leave this European issue alone. Let us come into Africa and find something out.
In Africa, the two most prominent examples of territories with limited or no international recognition, whose passports are nonetheless accepted for travel, often under de facto or humanitarian considerations, are Somaliland and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Western Sahara. 1. Somaliland, Republic of Somaliland. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991. While it is not recognized as a sovereign state by the UN, though Israel officially recognized it in December 2025, its passport is uniquely successful in the region for practical travel. Who recognizes the passport? United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE accepts Somaliland passports for entry and residency. In fact, while Somali passports have faced recent restrictions in the UAE, Somaliland passport holders continue to be processed through their electronic visa systems. Ethiopia. Due to deep economic ties in the Berbera port, Ethiopia has long accepted Somaliland passports for travel. Djibouti frequently accepts Somaliland travel documents for cross-border trade and movement. Kenya often permits entry to Somaliland passport holders, particularly for business and diplomatic discussions. South Africa and United Kingdom have historically allowed travel on Somaliland passports in specific cases, though often requiring a visa on a separate sheet, rather than a stamp in the passport itself. 2. Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, SADR/Western Sahara. The SADR is a founding member of the African Union, AU, which gives its documents a unique status within the continent compared to other unrecognized states. Who recognizes the passport? African Union members. Since the SADR is a full member of the AU, its passports are technically valid in dozens of African countries that recognize its statehood, such as Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, and Angola. Algeria. As the primary supporter of the SADR, Algeria not only recognizes their passports, but often issues Algerian humanitarian travel documents to Sahrawis, who need to travel to countries that do not recognize the SADR. Humanitarian movement. In Europe, countries like Spain allow Sahrawi residents to travel using titre de voyage, travel documents for stateless persons, for humanitarian reasons, such as the Vacaciones en Paz program for children. Comparison table. Unrecognized African passports. Territory. Primary acceptance in Africa. Key external acceptance. Status. Somaliland, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Kenya, UAE, Israel, UK. De facto. Highly functional for trade/travel. SADR. Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, Cuba, Venezuela. Recognized by the African Union. Ambazonia. None. Active conflict. None. No functional passport recognition yet. The humanitarian movement loophole. When these passports are not enough, people from these regions often use two specific humanitarian alternatives. 1. Icrc travel document. The Red Cross issues these for one-way travel for refugees, or people from unrecognized zones who need to reach a country for asylum or medical care. 2. UN laissez-passer stateless documents. If a person is legally stateless, as many from unrecognized countries are, they can apply for a convention travel document from a neighboring country that is a signatory to the 1954 UN Convention. Would you like me to find out the specific visa requirements for a Somaliland or Sahrawi passport holder entering a specific country?
Listen and pay very deep attention into this program. Listen very well. I'll be playing it as many as it is. After that, then we will now go back to choose. So, if we can find out passports issued by a government in exile, how can I use to travel? Is there anything that they will stamp inside it once you get it? Because they said that they don't want to quickly recognize a country that's the country that they did not recognize, that recognizing the passport proving that country has been recognized. So that is why they have that stamp. They used to stamp in there to prove that you are a government in exile and the poor are in exile. This is one of the most important things that we need to find out as we are listening this evening. Let us continue.
In short, yes, a country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, but it is rare and usually happens through de facto, practical recognition, rather than a formal humanitarian movement. While international law generally links passports to recognized sovereignty, countries often find practical ways to allow people from unrecognized territories to travel for humanitarian reasons, like seeking medical care, escaping conflict, or family reunification. 1. De facto recognition for practical use. Many countries accept passports from unrecognized states without formally recognizing the country itself. This is often done to prevent people from being trapped and to facilitate trade or humanitarian aid. Example: for many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passports for travel before they officially recognized Kosovo as an independent state. Northern Cyprus. Its passports are accepted by a handful of countries, like the US, UK, and France, for visa purposes, even though they do not recognize the territory as a state. 2. Humanitarian travel documents, the laissez-passer. If a country refuses to recognize a new territory's passport, international organizations often step in for humanitarian reasons. Icrc travel document. The International Committee of the Red Cross, Icrc, can issue emergency travel documents to people who have no other way to travel due to conflict or lack of recognition. These are strictly for humanitarian purposes, e.g., repatriation or seeking asylum. UN laissez-passer. While usually for UN staff, the UN can sometimes facilitate stateless person travel documents under the 1954 Convention relating to the status of stateless persons. 3. Alternative neutral documents. Sometimes, a parent country or a neighboring country will issue a document to help. Taiwan. Since many countries do not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, they treat the Taiwanese passport as a valid travel document but place visas on a separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself. Palestine. Before more widespread recognition, many Palestinians used document de voyage, travel documents, issued by countries like Lebanon, Syria, or Egypt to travel. Comparison of travel options. Document type. Issued by. Recognition level. Purpose. Unrecognized passport. The new country. Very low. General travel, if the destination allows it. Icrc document. Red Cross. High humanitarian. Emergency travel, medical, or relocation. Stateless document. A host country. High legal. For people with no recognized nationality. Neutral identity card. International body. Medium. Identity verification in conflict zones. Summary of the process. If a new country lacks recognition, the humanitarian movement usually works like this. 1. Bilateral agreements. The new country negotiates privately with neighbors to allow people to cross the border for food, medicine, or work. 2. Special visa exceptions. A recognizing country might say, "We don't recognize your government, but we will put a visa in your passport because we recognize your human right to travel." 3. International intervention. If people are stuck in a legal vacuum, the UN or Icrc issues temporary papers to move them to safety. Would you like me to look up specific examples of travel documents used by a particular unrecognized region today?
I hope you pay attention as we are doing this. I know why I started from all those areas to this main point of the program. For you to know that what we are going to do about our passport is something that other countries have done it in the past. All these things is also to prove your government for you. It's also to prove the government for you, because it's only the government that cares, who knows how to build a new country, the laws, the treaties, the conventions that supported a new country. That is what your government is doing for you. Not even only the laissez-passer, that the new country has the right with that recognition, with government in. I started from government in exile. I know why. Because of the Nzamerias. Those are always confused on what to do. That is why I started from there to here we are right now. So I hope you can connect the dots. I hope that you can connect the dots very well. Now listen again. As I am playing, I am pausing to explain to every layman understanding. It is very important to do so this wonderful evening.
In short, yes, a country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, but it is rare and usually territories to travel for humanitarian reasons, like seeking medical care, escaping conflict, or family reunification. 1. De facto recognition for practical use. Many countries accept passports from unrecognized states without formally recognizing the country itself. This is often done to prevent people from being trapped and to facilitate trade or humanitarian aid.
I hope you are listening. Like I said, why I'm doing this is now that the government is about to release our Biafran passport. When our DPM said that very soon that the people of United States of Biafra are going to be using Biafran passport and ID card to travel and also identify themselves, I want you to know that that is legal. That is not just saying a word. It's not just about what we think. It's not about, because many people does not come to this page because of what? We don't do saga here. There are things we don't have time to, but we can't repeat what everybody is doing. Let us have different. That is why Chukwukabiyama called us on different levels. And this is only when I research, I come here to let you know, like bringing the names of countries where those things that this government is doing right now has happened, and those who has passed through that road and they achieve what they need to achieve. Now, for us to achieve it, we have to go to that road they went to. Through that road they walk in and achieve their own. That is road also we as the Biafran people has to go through. And today, the government is going through that. When you are listening to all these things, it's also for you to believe in your government of the United States of Biafra by Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. It is the time for you to know that she is here for you, for something good. That is not just come to make noise on social media. That there is a purpose. She's here to complete that mission that seems like it's not going to be completed. And today, everything about United States of Biafra you are hearing is on the right track. It is on the what? On the right track. Please, as you join us, please continue to like and share the program. Please do not stop to like and share this program. Whenever you like the program, you are bringing someone else to come and listen to us. Like I said, I repeat again, if you're first time coming, there is a three dot in front of you. Click on that three dot on the right hand side on top of your phone. It will open, you will see like and share. Once you like, subscribe. Please, it's very important if you may do so. And for you to do that, you are helping us to share the message to make it go viral. That's why it's important. So Biafrans can hear this and get themselves prepared, having the hope. Because our government will not give us this passport without authentic agreement that we can use it to travel. Now Nigeria is in the mess. Are you following? There is not just a mess story. It's not just that they print ID passport for us. No, it is about us to use it to travel, for the world to know, yes. And through that, the more the passport is traveling, the more countries knowing, no, there is a country called United States of Biafra. That is why I said that this mission that we're into is what? Inclusive of all of us to help for Biafra to get recognition. It's not only in the hands of the cabinet members, it's also in our own hand. When they give instruction, work towards that instruction. When they bring something out to do that, do it that way they want you to do it. Once we are doing, you are making the recognition to be getting, for the recognition to come very, very fast. Whenever you listen to the government and you pay your attention, you carry the duty on, it simply means you are also helping for the recognition to come very fast. The more we put political pressure with all these things, the more the world knows how serious we are, the more the world come to our rescue only on what? Recognition. These are facts and figures. When I asked questions, they said, in short answer, yes, a country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, unrecognized country. That other countries may decide to recognize their passport, their ID card. Because of what? Humanitarian movement. It is another law that has its own judicial. That is how he works. That's what it is. But it is arranged unusually, happen through de facto government. US government are one of the de facto governments, both in the homeland and everywhere. We are there. 3 in 1. Onye ji agbara ịtọ ga-egburu, onye agbara ịbụọ ga-egburu. That is all to prove that all these things is for one people. It's people that started from here, they are the one that is here, they are not to the end of it. Somebody who went to school, is he going to throw away his primary school result? The answer is no. Document. He just have to leave it. Even that he's no longer using it. Even though that you are no longer using it for record purposes. De facto, particularly, recognition rather than a former humanitarian movement. Under humanitarian movement, the passport can sell. We can use it as we are waiting for us to use our travel. Prepare yourself if you're in the diaspora to be the first that we accept that we get this passport and show it to us. Can you do that? That is why it is very important at this stage that we're into, that you mind things you're listening. You mind things you give your time to. Mind them. They are very important. While international law generally links a passport to recognize a sovereign state, do you hear it? When we are using this passport and be traveling, it's also leading forward for the international recognition that we are looking for. We will not, that's why I told you, it's not only the government has the right to get us recognition. We all must be doing something. When they say take ID card, go on and do it. When you hear take passport, a government in exile has authoristic rights to issue passport and ID card to their citizens to travel based on the humanitarian law, based on the humanitarian movement. It is important. It is very, very important at this stage that we're into, as Nigeria is falling apart. Are you listening? Sheikh that said that why international law generally links passport to the recognition of sovereignty. Passport link to the recognition of what? Sovereignty. Are you listening? You see how it is. You see how important it is on the international law. Do you see how effective it is? Countries often find particular way to allow people from unorganized territory to travel for humanitarian reason, like seeking medical care, especially conflict or family reflections. Are you listening? These are the areas, the things that the government has to have an agreement with those that want to do recognition, those that want to recognize Biafra passport for us to travel, for us to be stuck. That is why they said under humanitarian law that people has rights to do their thing. I hope you're following. Let's continue. De facto recognition for particular use. Many countries accept passport for unrecognized country without formally recognize the country itself. Are you listening? Remark this word in your mind. Many countries accept passport for unrecognized state without formally recognition the country itself. The world decide to recognize our passport. They might be holding on to our what? Our recognition. Just how it works. And because of that, we will not say no. When all this is happening, it's also proving that you have a government despite being in exile. That you have a government despite being in exile. This is often done to prevent people from being trapped. Even in Nigeria, we can use our move out from Nigeria and traveled. We can also do that out of Nigeria From the country where I am, if I have the passport, I can use it. If the country I want to travel to is not accepted to recognize us, to recognize our passport, what is that? You fill and you move. You do what? You move out from there. You join the government of the people to make sure that everything goes all right. The one are telling you that under humanitarian reason that they can recognize a country that's just offer declaration that lack international recognition, that they can do what? Recognize their passport because of the law of the humanitarian movement. Are you following? Number 1A, example. For many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accept Kosovo passport for traveling before the official recognition of Kosovo as an independent state. I hope. For many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passports for traveling before they officially recognized Kosovo as an independent state. Are you hearing it? Are you hearing it? Yes, sir, coupled with what is happening in the country Nigeria now, I ask which airport in Nigeria allow this Biafra passport now? Please, I want to know. Coupled with what is happening in Nigeria, are you hearing what international law is saying? You don't need a Nigeria airport to travel. From this country, this is moreover for those that in diaspora for first time. They can, like from here, I can, if Biafran passport is being organized from a country I want to travel to, from here I can travel to there. We are not the first. Countries have done it in the past. We are not the first. Those people in Nigeria, they can live with Nigeria passport to another nearby country in Africa that allows our passport from there travel to any country that they want to travel to. It must not be from Nigeria, because they know that the present country that we are fighting will want to tramp us. They don't like us to travel. That is why they told that under humanitarian movement. Look at it. They even mentioned Kosovo here. Kosovo was being recognized by their passport. Countries allowed them to travel based on our agreement. If you and I have agreement to come to my house, you will come. I will find where you will come, depending on agreement. That is what they are telling us here. That is the things that are important into what we are doing now. This Kosovo till today are lacking international recognition, but they traveled. Their citizens are traveling with their own passport into many countries who accepted the agreement they have with them. Example, for many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passport for traveling before the official recognition of Kosovo as an independent state. They even allow it before they officially recognize some countries. Now come recognize Kosovo as a country. You can hear Kosovo playing a football country sometimes. You can hear about them. Example again, Northern Cyprus. Its passports are accepted by a handful of countries like the US, UN, and the France for visa purpose. Even through there, they do not recognize the territory as a state. America, UK, France never recognize Northern Cyprus as a country, but they allow their passports to travel. The agreement of passport depends on the country that accepted you. The way we are in Nigeria, Nigeria is everywhere right now. If people of Biafra got their passport from USB government, they can, if the USB government have an agreement with Ghana, they can cross through road to Ghana. when they reach to Ghana, because of the agreement we have with Ghana, then they can use the passport to travel to anywhere they want to travel to, based on those who allow us to the agreement that our passport will recognize, like Northern Cyprus, like Kosovo. This is how it is. Thank you so much for saying that that is being cleared. Thank you so. And that is why I like some questions on the comment section. Those that are like this, your question really makes sense. It triggers to emphasize more into this topic that we're taking this evening. Thank you so much for that question, because it also allowed me to calm down to stretch it out. Thank you so much. When I asked this question about a new country that was declared with government in exile, do they have right to issue ID card, passport? The answer is, in short answer, yes. A country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, but it is an arranged and usually happen through de facto. We are de facto government of the people of United States of Biafra. These are true. Recognition, rather than a former humanitarian movement, there is law about what? Humanitarian movement. On that law of humanitarian movement is where our government of the USB, by our DPM, address Biafrans that you should be getting ready, that we should be getting ready for our passports. Taking that passport also prove that there is a permanent population. Taking that passport also prove leads to what? Sovereignty. With international law, generally links passports to recognized sovereignty. The passport that we are going to take is also how also we are mounting international political pressure to the world, so they can be able to understand that Biafra is a sovereign state, only proving to the mouth that we have over 50 million Biafrans that voted on the self-referendum was not enough. All these things, ID card, passport, is an evidence proving that there is what? Permanent population, defined territory, effective government, capacity to sign agreements and treaties with other states. A government in exile. Are you hearing it? Now, on basis are they going to travel? They are going to travel on the basis of like medical care, escaping conflict from Nigeria. If Nigeria starts killing our people, buying our people the way they are doing, people that opportuned, that grab Biafra passport can use it through road, walk out of Nigeria, go something like Ghana, go something like a nearby country, even Togo. From there, they can jabba with countries. They will seek for the countries, and once those countries approve your passport, once you seek for visa, they will stamp it for you. They will give it to you. These are the criteria, things that when you are passing through that, they said that they have to allow it because of they don't want to tramp human being to being trapped anywhere at all. For you who is laughing, government in, how can you be government in exile? No sovereignty, no recognition. You are not a state. You want to issue ID card. You want to issue passport. Here it's here. The Biafra we are seeking right now, the level where we are, is not what many of us can carry. It's not what many of us can explain. It's not what many people can do at this stage where we are right now, because we are going professional. We are going on the international level of the movement. So we must prove that we are also in line with the international movement. Please, as you join me, please endeavor to like this program if you think the program worth to be liked. If you never like the program or your first time coming, there is a three dot, the one I'm pointing my hand on your right hand side on top of your screen. There is a three dot. Click on that dot, it will open. You will see like and share. You will do what? You will see like and share. This program I am teaching today, what makes me to think about, to go and search about it is that I was listening to a One Nigeria platform, and they are making mockery of themselves. Government in exile, issuing passport. Don't be scam be that. That is what triggers me to do this. This is not the program I plan to do, but I also need to do it because of our ID card is getting ready. So I am preparing your mind for you to know the importance of it. That is a right of us to have this what? Passport ID card of United States of Biafra. Do that also, the government in exile issue birth certificate to their people that give birth in abroad. So anywhere you are today in abroad, contact US government to issue birth certificate of the Biafra for your child. And also, it does not stop you from taking certificate of child, your birth certificate of your child in a country where you are. People have 2, 3 passports. Depending on issue of birth certificate. You might have 2. You might have 2. It is very important for you to know the game that we are into. Let's continue. Let's continue.
Example. For many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passports for travel before they officially recognized Kosovo as an independent state. Northern Cyprus. Its passports are accepted by a handful of countries, like the US, UK, and France, for visa purposes, even though they do not recognize the territory as a state. 2. Humanitarian travel documents, the laissez-passer. If a country refuses to recognize a new territory's passport, international organizations often step in for humanitarian reasons.
Are you hearing it? Humanitarian traveling document, the laissez-passer. If a country refuses to recognize new territory passport, international organizations often step in for humanitarian reason. For the humanitarian reason. If any countries today or many countries refuse to accept Biafra passport, believe you me, this international community of the humanitarian movement, the government will drag them. They will come out. Listen to this.
Icrc travel document. The International Committee of the Red Cross, Icrc, can issue emergency travel documents to people who have no other way to travel due to conflict or lack of recognition. These are strictly for humanitarian purposes, e.g., repatriation or seeking asylum.
Are you hearing it? Icrc traveling document. The international community of the Red Cross, Icrc, can issue emergency traveling document to people who have no other way to travel due to conflict. If there is a conflict between Nigeria and Biafra right now, this Red Cross will come. In Biafra, when we fought 1967, 1997, there was there also. There was there. So they goes around to sort some problems out. That is why at the middle of that war, our people are traveling despite what is going on. Despite what is going on. Now they will come. When they go, what are they going to do? They will do what? People who has no other way to travel due to documents or lack of recognition or lack of what? Recognition of the new country. They are secretly for humanitarian purpose, e.g., representing or seeking asylum. If you are in abroad today, seeking asylum in any country where you are, once you present United States of Biafra authentic ID card, when your asylum is authentic, ask questions and listen to the those who are giving testimony about it. Ask questions, listen. Stop doubting everything. Stop proving how stupidity you are and face reality. That is why I encourage every Biafran to have time to research. So you will know it by yourself. So when they come, you can answer them without thinking. All these things are very, very important at this stage we are. And these are the things that will make you to know that your government is on the right track. That your government is doing the legit thing for you. That your government is the one in charge of your life. The only thing you have to do is to take instruction, is to do they ask you to do. These are the things that are very important, that are real, that are well understood at this stage that we are into. Are you following? I hope you are understanding a little bit. Is it making sense to you? I want to see those that are here. Can someone answer? Is it making sense to you? Are you understanding it clearly? Are you understanding this program this evening? Issue of government in exile to issue ID card without international recognition. Do you believe right now the government of the USB has the right to issue ID card to the Biafrans? That is my question. I want an answer, please, on the comment section. Do you fully believe now that USB has right to issue ID card? Yes, thank you so much. Joseph, thank you so much. It's like you're only the one who are here. Maybe others has run because of the program, because, now for here, I choose things I do. I choose things I do. And those ones I can do what I can do. I can't be repeating what every other person has been done in the morning. When I come back, I do know. That is why for here, we have different message altogether. After we have finished this one tomorrow, we are going to discuss about if leaders who are in fact, we are going to go into India's leaders, because India, their 2 leader was arrested. Let us see if those that was outside voted another leader and said distance themselves from the one who is inside prison. Don't worry. Tomorrow we will use it to judge those who are declaring prime minister. For you to see the level of foolish, greedy, envy, jealousness, saboteur that people are in this 21st century. Let's continue.
UN laissez-passer. While usually for UN staff, the UN can sometimes facilitate stateless person travel documents under the 1954 Convention relating to the status of stateless persons.
Are you hearing it? I hope you are listening very well. UN laissez-passer, who will bring it for them to come, is still the government of United States of Biafra. We also bring them to come. Why usually for UN staff, the UN can sometimes facilitate stateless person. Sometimes they can be fast to facilitate what? Stateless person. What is stateless person? That is the state that lack international recognition. A state that lacks what? International recognition. Now, let's continue. Traveling document under the 1954 Convention. Under the 1954 Convention relating to the status of a stateless person. Who are those that are going to do it for you? Who are those that will trigger them to come? Who are those that they are going to talk to? It's a government of the new country that lack international recognition, but they will talk to the government. Also, that's also proving that the government is what? Very, very effective. that they have the capacity to sign agreement and do the needful. That is why it is very important for we all to understand that we are on the right track. With this and all the things that the government of USB, leading by Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Chief Staff, COS, the doctor herself. What for all you are hearing, use it and connect the dots on the things is the agenda. Those that are out and those that are not out of the government. Is it not clearly to you right now that this is legit government who understand what it takes to achieve a new country, international recognition, and also depends on you and I? These are pure truth. We won't take all our time, give saboteurs, no, because they are the one to set the hands of the clock back. But we talking about them a little bit and move forward, proving how smart we are. Not to take our whole 3 hours, 4 or 5 hours to discuss about them. 1 hour, 30 minutes is enough if I want to talk about them. But I don't have that kind of time because what I have here is very bigger than me to do. There was a convention where they signed this law, 1954. Are you hearing it? All these things are very, very important for us to know them, one after the other. We continue.
3. Alternative neutral documents. Sometimes, a parent country or a neighboring country will issue a document to help. Taiwan.
Are you hearing it? Sometimes, a present government or a nearby country will issue a document to help. Like when I said Ghana and the nearest countries that surrenders Biafran territory. From there, we can take it to next level. They can help us. What kind of help? That is why when the government issue this passport, they can help us to stamp their award visa inside it with their signature. That is all we needed. Everything will be over. We must continue to stand on the side of the truth at all time, my people. It is our right to accept USB passport. It is also your right to do what? To prove that there is a permanent population by taking the passport and the ID card. Oh, we voted over 50 million votes was not enough. Prove it again by taking ID card, taking your passport. Once the passport is out, I am only here to let you know the truth. That is Hadaino. The truth that nobody wants to tell you is what I am capable of being telling you by bringing that out to you. Let's continue.
Since many countries do not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, they treat the Taiwanese passport as a valid travel document, but place visas on a separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself.
Are you hearing it? Taiwan, since many countries do not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, they treat the Taiwan passport as a valid traveling document, but place visa on a separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself. Do you know why? They don't want to break any law. They want it to go the way it's supposed to be. Instead of them to stamp, they will stamp it on paper. See what? Give it to you. It's not what you want for it to be stamped. That's all we wanted. That is why I want you to know the importance of your government and the things that the government is doing for us. That's all that they are doing for us is what's doing. Let's continue. A separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself. Let's continue.
Palestine. Before more widespread recognition, many Palestinians used document de voyage, travel documents, issued by countries like Lebanon, Syria, or Egypt to travel. Comparison of travel options.
Hold it here first. They said, before Palestine become well-known country, like all of us can hear their name, what happened? Before more widespread recognition for Palestine on the local countries that have recognized them, till today, they are not a member of the UN. But other countries who love them by their size, by anything, has granted them what recognition on their own. Why they are only waiting for a member of the UN grant them international recognition. These are facts that I want you to understand. When you listen to the truth, you know there's no two ways about it. There is no two ways about this truth, and this truth must prevail at all time. And Hadaino comes at last. That is the truth. Truth is Hadaino. But I don't want you as a Biafran to cry Hadaino. Why you did not take your passport? Take it also to support the government of the people of United State of what? Biafra. Please endeavor to do that. Palestina, before white separate recognition, many Palestinians use documents to travel issued by countries like Lebanon, Syria, or Egypt to travel. You see people that give them a self-landed. If people can give Palestina, what of we that are very peaceful, abiding people? What of we that are not messing up? What of we that likes law to keep law very well? What else do you think that can delay us? Our own passports? If Egypt, Lebanon, Syria can recognize them, do you think that our own, that no country will recognize us? Do you think that? Let us see the comparison. Listen.
Document type. Issued by. Recognition level. Purpose. Unrecognized passport. The new country. Very low. General travel, if the destination allows it. Icrc document. Red Cross. High humanitarian. Emergency travel, medical, or relocation. Stateless document. A host country. High legal. For people with no recognized nationality. Neutral identity card. International body. Medium. Identity verification in conflict zones. Summary of the process. If a new country lacks recognition, the humanitarian movement usually works like this. 1. Bilateral agreements. The new country negotiates privately with neighbors to allow people to cross the border for food, medicine, or work. 2. Special visa exceptions. A recognizing country might say, we don't recognize your government, but we will put a visa in your passport because we recognize your human right to travel. 3. International intervention. If people are stuck in a legal vacuum, the UN or Icrc issues temporary papers to move them to safety. Would you like?
I hope you listen carefully. I hope you pay the attention. I hope now that if this ID card comes out, this passport, so if the passport comes out, that you will rush and get to your own. I hope so. Remember, you will have this passport without having ID card. 2 of them, because what is in the ID card is what they will use to fill your form for you. That's what you're going to fill for the form. What is in the ID card? Do you see how important for you to take this ID card? Do you see how important it is at this stage that we are into? So, bilateral agreements, who will sign? Government of the USB. The new country negotiated privately within their neighbors to allow people to cross the border for food, medicine, or work. What else do you want again? When you can use this passport that was not recognized, the country is not longer recognized, and traveled, you can work for your food, and do many, many jobs, and also help your life. That is why they said that it is important under humanitarian movement. A new country that lack international recognition, that their passports can go very viral. They give us Palestine as one of them also. So my people, if you are listening, pay very deep attention. Especially visa expectation. A recognizing country might say, we don't want to recognize your government, but we will put our visa in your passport because of we recognize your humanitarian right to travel. That is how we started. International invitation. If people are stuck in a legal vacuum, the UN or Icrc issued a temporary paper to move them to safety. You see why when you have a government, all this is happening, the government will make everything right for us. That is why I'm happy that I have a government. I don't know about you. That is why I support the government fully with all my chest, and I embrace the government with all my chest, because what they have been able to do, the entire movement of Biafra movement, nobody has done that in the past, except some exceptional we have to do some people. These are pure truth, but she is the one standing tall for everything. I also want you to know that there is no other way around. That is the way it is. It is what it is. No matter how you hate this truth, we will come here to preach it. Even if it's only 2 people, we will continue preaching. I urge you, please, if you never like the program, please like and share the program, please. The like, there is a 3 dots, the one pointing my hand, on top of your screen. Click on that 3 dots, it will open, you will see like and share. Please, I urge you to do that. It is very important. And once you like and share, so subscribe, keep onwards doing the needful, because the world are listening. The world are not child's play. Now, let us know if this we are discussing this evening has happened in Africa. Let us go into it again.
In Africa, the 2 most prominent examples of territories with limited or no international recognition, whose passports are nonetheless accepted for travel, often under de facto or humanitarian considerations, are Somaliland and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Western Sahara.
A journey of 1,000 miles must count it from somewhere. Is it not true? It must count from somewhere. Because it is a journey. So, my people, in Africa, the 2 most prominent example of territory with limited or non-international recognition, whose passports are not unless accepted by traveling of under de facto or humanitarian consideration, or what? People like Somaliland, they have it when they are not getting in recognition. When I say that a journey of 1,000 miles start with 1 step, I mean something there. As Somaliland is not start one day organized over all these years. They also have saboteurs among them. Ambazonia today have saboteurs everywhere, like people of United States of Biafra government. All of us has it. Why do we have it? Because we choose to do the right thing. We said that we want to do the things that will benefit everybody, and everybody will be okay. So in this government of the USB, all these criteria you are seeing here, they have met all of them. Somaliland was in exile in Egypt. Before they come back to their country, they later come back to Somalia to fight them. What of Sahara Arab Democratic Republic, West Sahara? You can hear them, they also come Cup of Nations, even though they didn't play well, they left. These are countries. It's only one thing changes everything. That is why it's very important at this stage that you follow your government closely. Listen and pay attention, and work with your government. Take instructions. Do what they ask you to do. You will see how everything is going to be saved, and we will achieve our international recognition. It has sounded clear to you that countries in Africa has done that without international recognition. They have done that. That is why no fear. When we take example, if US government now is asking for this, they refuse. They bring examples of histories of countries. They have done that in the past. People that have achieved their own do that the same way. So it's an argument. It's things that we have to do, my people. Please like and share as you come. Please put your comment. It's from the comment also we grab an answer to do what we have to do. Yes, my brother, the passport, all I know that DPM has announced it that Biafrans are waiting for passport. I don't think maybe by end of this month or first week of February. We might have it in our hand. Listen again.
1. Somaliland, Republic of Somaliland. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991. While it is not recognized as a sovereign state by the UN, though Israel officially recognized it in December 2025, its passport is uniquely successful in the region for practical travel. Who recognizes the passport? United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE accepts Somaliland passports for entry and residency. In fact, while Somali passports have faced recent restrictions in the UAE, Somaliland passport holders continue to be processed through their electronic visa systems. Ethiopia. Due to deep economic ties in the Berbera port, Ethiopia has long accepted Somaliland passports for travel. Djibouti frequently accepts Somaliland travel documents for cross-border trade and movement. Kenya often permits entry to Somaliland passport holders, particularly for business and diplomatic discussions. South Africa and United
All these names of people, countries that we are hearing here, was countries that recognize Somaliland when they never get recognition, like people of Palestine. The one from the people of Palestine, they told us here that when they are not even nobody knows them, that their passport starts working. Good evening from here. Thank you so much. I can see you. Good evening. So, remember the headline of our program. Under humanitarian movement, Icrc, the way they put the organization, can a passport and ID card issued by a government in exile that lack international recognition, can they use it to travel? I say yes. And we now start doing it back again. Listen, we will go back to refresh minds of our people. Then we'll come back here again. Listen to this carefully. Listen. Because for those that are making mockery of themselves, that is why I'm doing this program, because like I said, I come across one Nigeria platform who is making mockery of themselves, and I begin to think. I take my time to find these documents out. Both the convention, both the year of the convention, 1954 convention, that gives right that once a country being declared, despite lacking international recognition, that their passport can travel to anywhere at all. Santos Ndewo, Shioma, I see you. Good evening from here. Listen to this. Why am I doing this? I am preparing your mind for you to take your passport at its come, because once they refuse to recognize Biafra, they said that passport also bring international recognition also. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
In short, yes, a country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, but it is rare and usually happens through de facto, practical recognition, rather than a formal humanitarian movement. While international law generally links passports to recognized sovereignty, countries often find practical ways to allow people from unrecognized territories to travel for humanitarian reasons, like seeking medical care, escaping conflict, or family reunification. 1. De facto recognition for practical use. Many countries accept passports from unrecognized states without formally recognizing the country itself. This is often done to prevent people from being trapped and to facilitate trade or humanitarian aid. Example: for many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passports for travel before they officially recognized Kosovo as an independent state. Northern Cyprus. Its passports are accepted by a handful of countries, like the US, UK, and France, for visa purposes, even though they do not recognize the territory as a state. 2. Humanitarian travel documents, the laissez-passer. If a country refuses to recognize a new territory's passport, international organizations often step in for humanitarian reasons. Icrc travel document, The International Committee of the Red Cross, ICRC, can issue emergency travel documents to people who have no other way to travel due to conflict or lack of recognition. These are strictly for humanitarian purposes, e.g., repatriation or seeking asylum. UN laissez-passer. While usually for UN staff, the UN can sometimes facilitate stateless person travel documents under the 1954 Convention relating to the status of stateless persons. 3. Alternative neutral documents. Sometimes, a parent country or a neighboring country will issue a document to help. Taiwan. Since many countries do not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, they treat the Taiwanese passport as a valid travel document but place visas on a separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself. Palestine. Before more widespread recognition, many Palestinians used document de voyage, travel documents, issued by countries like Lebanon, Syria, or Egypt to travel. Comparison of travel options. Document type. Issued by. Recognition level. Purpose. Unrecognized passport. The new country. Very low. General travel, if the destination allows it. ICRC document. Red Cross. High humanitarian. Emergency travel. Medical, or relocation. Stateless document. A host country. High legal. For people with no recognized nationality. Neutral identity card. International body. Medium. Identity verification in conflict zones. Summary of the process. If a new country lacks recognition, the humanitarian movement usually works like this. 1. Bilateral agreements. The new country negotiates privately with neighbors to allow people to cross the border for food, medicine, or work. 2. Special visa exceptions. A recognizing country might say, "We don't recognize your government, but we will put a visa in your passport because we recognize your human right to travel." 3. International intervention. If people are stuck in a legal vacuum, the UN or ICRC issues temporary papers to move them to safety. Would you like me to look up specific examples of travel documents used by a particular unrecognized region today?
I hope you listen carefully. I hope you see that you have government, number one, not ndị nkubiaka, not ndị ọgbakọrọ otene. Once it's out from this space, so far you are here, you will get the link. Because even the link of ID, but remember, if you don't have ID card, this passport will be very hard for you, because what is in your ID card is what you are going to use to fill the passport. So first, grab your ID card. At first, take the ID card. The ID card is what will help you to achieve this. Without ID card, to grab this passport is going to be hard for you. Are you hearing it? So, now that we have government, now that we have all this government that can speak for us, government can give us what we want, what are you still waiting for? Like I told you, program from tomorrow and next is going to be very, very awesome, because we are going to checkmate leaders that was fighting for a new country. They was arrested before the declaration. If their people disown them, remove them, and they claim that they are in charge without them, or if that declaration change their status and they start calling them president, prime minister, tomorrow we may start from India, because among the countries I found out the India two leader, Magahandi, and the other man was arrested. They are in prison. That leads to a woman to declare India as a country. Yes, how you got the ID card? If you are in abroad, for now, it's for those in the abroad. For now, the ID card. The government is trying to, maybe before this month ending or next month, they will provide for those in the homeland the link to you can achieve. So the only thing you can do, if you don't have my contacts, I can give you my contact on the program. You can reach out to me or message. Then, if you're in abroad, I will send you the link. Or another easiest way for you is to go to the S handle of our Deputy Prime Minister. Just go to S, type Deputy Prime Minister Dr. Ngozi Arabeze of University of Biafra, then it will get it. So yes, people of Lagos, your own is coming very soon, maybe this month or next month. So once you're on this page, once it's come outside, you will know, and we will post it here. We are waiting for USB government to bring a link for those in the homeland. Yes, don't worry. Your own between now to February, all the link will be out. Both passport, ID card. Then you will go to, you will go through the process of the accreditation. Then you can be able to achieve it. It's our government. Thank you for the zeal, and thank you for being here since over 1 hour we started this program. You are here with us, and you are still here up to now. Thank you that you understand the importance of ID card and passport instead of asking how you get it. We are going to do it. Help and share the program, please. Yes, that is, we are going to use India tomorrow to ask all these fools and vagabonds that are very useless what they are doing. Well, so we are going to look for Kenya history tomorrow also. When Jomo Kenyatta was in prison, if their people was not calling him president, was not changing his status, the social media handle of our DPM is on S, Dr. Ngozi Arabeze, the DPM, Deputy Prime Minister of United States of Biafra. Deputy Prime Minister of United States of Biafra on S. Once you type it, they will give you the name. You will see her page. Then follow her up. Also, when we call our number out now for call, then you can also pick up the number. Yes, as the program is continuously going on, the number to call, because now those who are aliens understand the importance of these words, our declaration, and why the importance of this ID card and passport, that with sort of recognition that passport can sell, we can use it to travel. They also give us many examples of those that it has happened to them. Listen to this. The number to call remain +9 7 33 60 51 337. I repeat, only on WhatsApp, +9 7 33 60 51 337. That is the number to call if anybody want to call on the program. So let us go back to the Africa. Listen.
In Africa, the two most prominent examples of territories with limited or no international recognition, whose passports are nonetheless accepted for travel, often under de facto or humanitarian considerations, are Somaliland and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Western Sahara. 1. Somaliland, Republic of Somaliland. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991. While it is not recognized as a sovereign state by the UN, though Israel officially recognized it in December 2025, its passport is uniquely successful in the region for practical travel. Who recognizes the passport? United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE accepts Somaliland passports for entry and residency. In fact, while
they accepted it when Israel never recognized them. When Somaliland is not official recognized, when Somaliland is lacking international recognition, they accepted their passport. They use their passport to be traveling. They use it to give the resident permit. In what? In where? United Arab Emirates. It's depending on agreement and those who love you and those who want you. Imagine Biafran people. Imagine how many countries that want us. Imagine the kind of who we are. During our own waste time, it's not going to waste any time. Both recognition and this issue of passport. The government is doing because they know what they have on the hand. They know the allies and what they have promised them. That is why they are running speed. So as the government is running speed, please join the government to be running the speed without wasting time. Do everything you can to make that you stand on the legal side of this movement. Let's continue.
Passports have faced recent restrictions in the UAE. Somaliland passport holders continue to be processed through their electronic visa systems. Ethiopia, due to deep economic ties and
Through what? Through electrical what? Through electronic way. It's the way they used to do what? Operate. For maybe those who are waiting for travel from one Nigeria. It doesn't work like that. You can be in Nigeria through online, your passport, your visa is ready. Is it not true? The country where you are today, are you there when they process the visa? That is the truth. You can also be in diaspora and your passport of your country come to you. So it's not, when people talk, I begin to imagine, where are they getting the rubbish they are saying from their mouth? Please like and share the program. Please, you can give us a thumbs up of love because this page is also under somehow attack. We have over 28 like. They have -4. One page is under attack. So please, can someone just hit on the love emoji, please? Because that is not removing any money from you. This page is not monetized, so it's nothing like removing money from your account. So please just hit love that love emoji. So please, it's also helping them to know that people are listening. That is why it's important on program. So let's continue. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Now, Ethiopia do what? They recognize the Somaliland passports, despite that they are lacking international recognition. They recognize it. Another countries in Africa accepted. Kenya also accepted. South Africa accepted their passports. So for you to know that it's not only us, that once the things that the government is doing is what other countries in the world has done in the past. Please like and share.
The Berbera port, Ethiopia has long accepted Somaliland passports for travel. Djibouti frequently accepts Somaliland travel documents for cross-border trade and movement. Kenya often permits entry to Somaliland passport holders, particularly for business and diplomatic discussions. South Africa and United Kingdom have historically allowed travel on Somaliland passports in specific cases, though often requiring a visa on a separate sheet, rather than...
This evil United Kingdom that don't want Biafran people to move an inch, that want to buy us. Look at it. They recognize their passports. Our own, they kill it and bury all the things Ojukwu even tried to do before he stopped the war. Let's continue.
A stamp in the passport itself. 2. Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, SADR/Western Sahara. The SADR is a founding member of the African Union, AU, which gives its documents a unique status within the continent compared to other unrecognized states. Who recognizes the passport? African Union members. Since the SADR is a full member of the AU, its passports are technically valid in dozens of African countries that recognize its statehood, such as Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, and Angola.
Do you hear that? The evil Nigeria recognize SADR, their passport. Look at it here. A new country, for that matter, that are not member of the UN. Nigeria recognize their passport. They can travel to Nigeria. But we talk about Biafra own. The stupid Nigerians, the gullibles, start talking trash. And even those who we thought that they are fighting for Biafra with us, we will never know that they come for business.
Algeria, as the primary supporter of the SADR, Algeria not only...
Algeria, as the primary supporter, they are the ones supporting them at all means.
He recognizes their passports, but often issues Algerian humanitarian travel documents to Sahrawis, who need to travel to countries that do not recognize the SADR. Humanitarian movement. In Europe, countries like Spain allow Sahrawi residents to travel using titre de voyage, travel documents for stateless persons, for humanitarian reasons, such as the Vacaciones en Paz program for children. Comparison table. Unrecognized African passports. Territory. Primary acceptance in Africa. Key external acceptance. Status. Somaliland, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Kenya, UAE, Israel, UK, de facto, highly functional for trade/travel. Sadr, Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, Cuba, Venezuela, recognized by the African Union. Ambazonia, none, active conflict, none, no functional passport recognition yet. The humanitarian movement loophole. When these passports are not enough, people from these regions often use two specific humanitarian alternatives. 1. Icrc travel document. The Red Cross issues these for one-way travel for refugees or people from unrecognized zones who need to reach a country for asylum or medical care. 2. UN laissez-passer stateless documents. If a person is legally stateless, as many from unrecognized countries are, they can apply for a convention travel document from a neighboring country that is a signatory to the 1954 UN Convention. Would you like me to find out the specific visa requirements for a Somaliland or Sahrawi passport holder entering a specific country?
Now, as we are moving, I hope you had it all. That you are free. Once our passport is free, do you know that before this government even trying to issue this passport, they already have an agreement? Because what they are doing, the government is silent destroyer. This government doesn't know how to blow their whistle. This government, they don't know how to blow their whistle. And I think I should be the whistleblower of USB. I think I should be the whistleblower of the USB because they don't blow their whistle at all. They don't talk what they are doing. They only believe in action, action, action. That is why sometimes I will go in, hijack some and bring it out, those in the open. Because if you know what this government has done for us, one day, if you want to sleep, you go and sleep and rest. But if you want to do that rest, take your passport, take your ID card. Now, let us go into government in exile. If they have right to issue passport to the citizens that are in abroad or both in the homeland, let us know if government in exile have the right.
Passports issued by governments in exile, authorities operating outside their home territory, are rarely recognized as official travel documents. Because these governments lack control over a physical territory, most countries refuse to stamp their booklets for fear of damaging diplomatic ties with the home government.
Are you hearing it? Passport issued by government in exile, authority operating outside the home territory, are really recognized an official travel document because the government lack control over physical territory. Most countries refer to stamp their booklet for fear of damaging diplomatic ties within the home government. You didn't want to say, Chino, you're already blowing. Hey, well, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. USB is also a silent achiever. I call our DPM silent destroyer. In CEO Genkere and this shenanigan, the government has destroyed, no government has destroyed them silently. Our DPM has destroyed, the government of the USB has destroyed. That's why I said that this government don't know how to blow their whistle. They don't make noise. The noise up and down. The government is very silent, doing everything they're supposed to do. When our DPM told them that any office you want to enter, before you think of enter, we really come out from that office. It is very important. We are moving on, yes. We are moving on. Nobody will stop us. Do you see that the government, they see, our people that are asking those questions are very, very annoying. Well, I don't blame them because for me, at the time I was also be thinking in that way. They stayed here because this government lack control over physical territory. Over what? Over physical. Yes, ụmụ iti mpataka, ụmụ iti na-agba ụzọ akwụkwọ na-ama chori social media no na-ekwugheri. That's why tomorrow we are going to trash them once and for all tomorrow. And I think if I have the time, that program should be on a bigger platform, maybe Kai. That is where we are going to bring issue of India, and you will do the comparison tomorrow. You will connect the dots and ask yourself, who are these people? Then you will know where they belong. So, let's continue.
However, there are a few unique cases where specific documents or passports are used for humanitarian and practical travel. 1.
Humanitarian movement, practical travel. There is a law. Now, hear about countries, even also in Africa, that has traveled through that way, or that their passport is working for them. Despite, remember, we have given you Kosovo, we have given you Northern Cyprus, here and other countries.
Tibet, the Identity Certificate, IC. The Central Tibetan Administration, CTA, based in Dharamshala, India, is...
Do you hear where the government is based? Their government of Tibet, they based on where? In India. They based on where? India. For you to hear. They based where? India. For Umokoko. Bishop. They blow their whistle, but they just decide to concentrate on the main subject, why things unfold naturally for their words to confirm. Yes, thank you so much. You are right. You are right, Bishop. Thank you. Please, if you never like the program, please like and share the program. YouTube will kick almost 5 people out from the page. It's only they know this is the problem. I don't know. But it's only happen when whenever page is under attack. So please, in a little while, you can just tap that love emoji. So they will see that people are listening. So they can be able to allow you to go. If there is those who are reporting the page, that is how it happened. So please endeavor to do that.
Perhaps the most organized government in exile. While the CTA issues a green book, identity card, to Tibetans, it is not a travel document. The humanitarian solution. To allow Tibetans to travel, the Indian government issues a yellow booklet called an identity certificate.
There is what they call yellow and green book. All was meant, one of them, that green book for people of Tabana or Tabakoano, their country is what? Anyway, under this humanitarian law, these documents they give, the one is for what? Home residence permits. Then the India, where they are, will support them with the yellow document also. It's in this country where we are. They have it here.
D. Recognition. Because it is issued by India for humanitarian reasons to help stateless refugees, the IC is accepted by many countries, including the USA, Switzerland, Canada, and several EU nations. It serves as a passport for Tibetans in exile, even though their government is not officially recognized.
Are you hearing it? Even that their government is not yet officially what? Recognized. The passports, the signings, the agreement has been done, and their people use it to travel.
2. Belarus. The new Belarus passport, proposed. Following the disputed 2020 elections, the democratic opposition led by Svietlana Tsikhanouskaya formed a transitional cabinet in exile. In 2023, after the current Belarusian government stopped renewing passports for citizens abroad, the exile cabinet designed a new Belarus passport. Humanitarian...
Where? They design it. Who designed? Government cabinet members in exile. Mokoko. You can't follow the truth. You like lies. Because of lies is giving you money. But that money will cost you Hadaina at last. That they are aware. Government in exile designed the new passport of Belarus. Belarus was a corner to move away from Russia. 2020. 6 years ago. It's not even up to 6 years ago. It's not even up to 5 years ago. They moved out from where? Russia. And the government in exile designed their what? Passports.
Movement. As of early 2026, this document is undergoing a push for recognition in the European Union.
Are you hearing it? The new one they have designed, everything is pushing, is undergoing a push for recognition in the Europe and European Union. Are you listening to that? You will have it first before you can push for it. You will not keep it and fall back. When you get recognition, now you come and start preparing for it. Are you ready to be a country? You are not ready now. The only time you prove ready is that, where is it? Look at it here. Are you going to tell them, if you don't recognize Biafra, oh wait, okay, recognize us now, our passport is not ready. The government is not ready either. You are not effective either. Are you listening? That is how things work. If in village, if you want to go farm, like us, we use in the night to sharp our cutlass. Sharp it very well. Test it if it is okay. Early in the morning, that we are going to farm, we just take, when we reach to the farm, we start working. That is, we have already prepared. We cook food in the night. That early in the morning, we'll take it to the farm. When we're in the farm, then we will on light, want to eat and warm the food and eat. Not when we are inside the farm, we will start sharpening knife. Not when we're inside the farm, we will start cooking. No. You get all these things ready. Even there is the one that when because of time, we will go to market in the evening time, bought everything. Then we also take it to the farm. When we are working in time of break, they use and cook. Sometimes we will be cooking and be working. Wait until the food is done. Then as we are eating, after that we go to work. All these things that are common sense that people are lacking, you will get it ready. That is why you have to get the name of your new country ready. Using that name of the new country to seek for recognition. Not when the world gives recognition. You must now come and tell the name you will answer. No. You must prove that you are a country ready before they look at you. Before they will grant you any recognition in the name of that country that is a sovereign state. Everything must be ready. You are government of the USB, and my government, your government is getting everything ready for us. Do not panic. Do not panic.
Status. While not yet a standard passport, several Baltic states and the European Parliament have discussed accepting it on a humanitarian basis so that exiled Belarusians do not become undocumented. 3. Hmong and other indigenous exile passports. Some groups, like the Hmong or certain Native American nations, issue their own national passports. Recognition. These are almost never recognized for international flight. However, they are occasionally accepted at specific land borders, or for ceremonial/humanitarian recognition by sympathetic organizations. For actual international travel, these individuals must almost always use a document from the country where they currently reside, like a refugee travel document.
Are you hearing it?
4.
The travel from this country I am right now, if USB have passports today, if there is a country in the Europe or in Africa, they have agreement with, because once you do it, the citizens of this country will know that this country you can travel to with Biafran passport. Then from here I can travel to those countries. They will give me visa. If they don't want to stamp on my passport, they will stamp it and give it to me. Then I will hold it on the hand. But it's going to be the name, what is in my passport is the name they're going to use to stamp on that visa. With their name also on their own stamp. This is how it works. You are hearing countries that has done it in the past. And that is the level where we are right now. Also, Amarapo, Ole, Ebanya North, that is why we cannot achieve Biafra without all the road that every other human being has passed to achieve their own country. That is the criteria. That is the template. That is the yardstick of the world. That is the mandate of the world that we must follow.
The laissez-passer, the universal alternative. When an exile government's passport is rejected,
if they rejected Biafran passport, they call it what? Laissez-passer. But I didn't see reason why they will not accept our passport, because if other countries have already accepted the ID card, go and check. countries has accepted the ID card of United States of Biafra. It's already been accepted. What are you waiting for? Go and grab your own. Go and grab your own. Stop delaying. So you can be able to get recognition. All these things gears towards international recognition. Like I said, our line is open in case if anyone want to call us. We have less than 20 minutes to go. So you want to call, you are free to call to tell us how you feel. And anything that's in your mind is for you if you decide to call.
Humanitarian movement usually relies on the 1951 Refugee Convention travel document. How it works. If you belong to an exile group, like the National Unity Government of Myanmar,
Yes.
you don't travel on an exile.
Yes, Jelen White, thank you so much. It is making much sense now. We must be operating like a nation. Shows how serious and ready we are to ourselves. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's continue.
Exile passport. Instead, you apply to the country where you are living, e.g., Thailand, USA, Germany, for a refugee travel document. International recognition. This document is recognized by nearly every country that signed the UN Refugee Convention, effectively replacing the need for an unrecognized exile passport. Summary table. Exile group. Document type. Main recognizing countries. Reason for recognition. Tibet, CTA. Identity certificate, IC. USA, India, EU. Humanitarian/stateless status. Belarus, exile. New Belarus passport. Being debated, mostly EU. Political protection/human rights. Myanmar, NUG. Refugee document. Global UN signatories. Legal protection for refugees. Would you like me to find out how a person from a specific exile group can apply for a recognized humanitarian travel document?
I hope you listen carefully. I hope you had it by yourself. I hope you had it by yourself. The countries that are on the same category with us right now, and their passport is moving all around. Their passport is being used. Their people use it. If that passport rejected, the order for laissez-passer from the UN, it must be granted. So you must act like a nation. You must carry yourself as a nation before other countries in the world will see that you are a nation. And I am happy that the USB. Are you not happy? The USB carries this government as a nation. Carry us like they are our government. They are government of our country. That is why I'm so happy, because when I check all they are doing and check what others have done in the past, I see that they are moving through the right channel to achieve recognition that we're looking for. That also to remind you that you are also needed for this recognition. You taking this ID card, increasing the number, proving what? A permanent population. Taking the ID card, taking the passport, you also proving that there is a permanent population. There is defined territory. There is what? Effective government that are taking care of their citizens, like all these countries I've been mentioned here. All of them government in what? In exile. They achieve it. So not like what we are doing that it has never happened before. It has happened. And people pass through that way and they got it right. So I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know why you are not cooperating. Please, it's your first time joining us. There is a 3 dot in front of you. Hit on that 3 dots. It will open, you will see, like, and share. So if you feel like you want to, you can subscribe. So I am going to play all this without saying a word. Listen, if you want to record to send it to some group. That is why it's important. Listen to it again from the beginning to the end of this program this evening. As we are waiting for phone calls. If phone call comes, we take. If it does not come, then we are going to be closed. Listen, government in exile issuing passports is going to be accepted. Listen very carefully. Emmanuel, good evening from here. Onuchukwu, good evening from here.
In short, Yes, a country can recognize the passport of an unrecognized state, but it is rare and usually happens through de facto, practical recognition, rather than a formal
We have
humanitarian movement.
the government of USB is not the federal government. It is through a government, through what? Through de facto government listing.
While international law generally links passports to recognized sovereignty, countries often find practical ways to allow people from unrecognized territories to travel for humanitarian reasons, like seeking medical care, escaping conflict, or family reunification. 1. De facto recognition for practical use. Many countries accept passports from unrecognized states without formally recognizing the country itself. This is often done to prevent people from being trapped and to facilitate trade or humanitarian aid. Example: for many years, several countries, including some in the EU, accepted Kosovo passports for travel before they officially recognized Kosovo as an independent state. Northern Cyprus. Its passports are accepted by a handful of countries, like the US, UK.
Please, 1 minute, my people. 1 minute. 1 minute, my people. 1 minute. Okay, we are good to go.
And France, for visa purposes, even though they do not recognize the territory as a state. 2. Humanitarian travel documents, the laissez-passer. If a country refuses to recognize a new territory's passport, international organizations often step in for humanitarian reasons. Icrc travel document. The International Committee of the Red Cross, Icrc, can issue emergency travel documents to people who have no other way to travel due to conflict or lack of recognition. These are strictly for humanitarian purposes, e.g., repatriation or seeking asylum. UN laissez-passer. While usually for UN staff, the UN can sometimes facilitate stateless person travel documents under the 1954 Convention relating to the status of stateless persons. 3. Alternative neutral documents. Sometimes, a parent country or a neighboring country will issue a document to help. Taiwan. Since many countries do not recognize Taiwan as a sovereign state, they treat the Taiwanese passport as a valid travel document but place visas on a separate piece of paper instead of stamping the passport itself. Palestine. Before more widespread recognition, many Palestinians used document de voyage, travel documents, issued by countries like Lebanon, Syria, or Egypt to travel. Comparison of travel options. Document type. Issued by. Recognition level. Purpose. Unrecognized passport. The new country. Very low. General travel, if the destination allows it. Icrc document. Red Cross. High humanitarian. Emergency travel, medical, or relocation. Stateless document. A host country. High legal. For people with no recognized nationality. Neutral identity card. International body. Medium. Identity verification in conflict zones. Summary of the process. If a new country lacks recognition, the humanitarian movement usually works like this. 1. Bilateral agreements. The new country negotiates privately with neighbors to allow people to cross the border for food, medicine, or work. 2. Special visa exceptions. A recognizing country might say, "We don't recognize your government, but we will put a visa in your passport because we recognize your human right to travel." 3. International intervention. If people are stuck in a legal vacuum, the UN or Icrc issues temporary papers to move them to safety. Would you like me to look up specific examples of travel documents used by a particular unrecognized region today? In Africa, the two most prominent examples of territories with limited or no international recognition, whose passports are nonetheless accepted for travel, often under de facto or humanitarian considerations, are Somaliland and the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, Western Sahara. 1. Somaliland, Republic of Somaliland. Somaliland declared independence from Somalia in 1991. While it is not recognized as a sovereign state by the UN, though Israel officially recognized it in December 2025, its passport is uniquely successful in the region for practical travel. Who recognizes the passport? United Arab Emirates, UAE. The UAE accepts Somaliland passports for entry and residency. In fact, while Somali passports have faced recent restrictions in the UAE, Somaliland passport holders continue to be processed through their electronic visa systems. Ethiopia. Due to deep economic ties in the Berbera port, Ethiopia has long accepted Somaliland passports for travel. Djibouti frequently accepts Somaliland travel documents for cross-border trade and movement. Kenya often permits entry to Somaliland passport holders, particularly for business and diplomatic discussions. South Africa and United Kingdom have historically allowed travel on Somaliland passports in specific cases, though often requiring a visa on a separate sheet rather than a stamp in the passport itself. 2. Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, SADR/Western Sahara. The SADR is a founding member of the African Union, AU, which gives its documents a unique status within the continent compared to other unrecognized states. Who recognizes the passport? African Union members. Since the SADR is a full member of the AU, its passports are technically valid in dozens of African countries that recognize its statehood, such as Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, and Angola. Algeria. As the primary supporter of the SADR, Algeria not only recognizes their passports, but often issues Algerian humanitarian travel documents to Sahrawis, who need to travel to countries that do not recognize the SADR. Humanitarian movement. In Europe, countries like Spain allow Sahrawi residents to travel using titre de voyage, travel documents for stateless persons, for humanitarian reasons, such as the Vacaciones en Paz program for children. Comparison table. Unrecognized African passports. Territory. Primary acceptance in Africa. Key external acceptance. Status. Somaliland, Ethiopia, Djibouti, Kenya, UAE, Israel, UK. De facto. Highly functional for trade/travel. Sadr. Algeria, South Africa, Nigeria, Cuba, Venezuela. Recognized by the African Union. Ambazonia. None. Active conflict. None. No functional passport recognition yet. The humanitarian movement loophole. When these passports are not enough, people from these regions often use two specific humanitarian alternatives. 1. Icrc travel document. The Red Cross issues these for one-way travel for refugees, or people from unrecognized zones who need to reach a country for asylum or medical care. 2. UN laissez-passer stateless documents. If a person is legally stateless, as many from unrecognized countries are, they can apply for a convention travel document from a neighboring country that is a signatory to the 1954 UN Convention. Would you like me to find out the specific visa requirements for a Somaliland or Sahrawi passport holder entering a specific country?
I hope you're listening carefully. It's not about gragra. It's not about what you think. It's about what the world knows and how they want it to happen. Not what I think, not what I want, not, hey, that's Biafra. It's not about Biafra. It is about the existing laws that has been there before us. It is about the template of the world. It is about the criteria. It is about everything legal this 21st century. Stop being fooled. Stop saying things the way you think and how you want it. How I want it can never give us Biafra as a country. But when we listen to all this and have a hope that we are going home, that is only when everything that we are looking for is going to be done. But remember, we must carry ourselves as a country. They mention Ambazonia here. Let us ask them, what of United States of Biafra? Because it is already in the archive. Let us see what they will sell us. Hold on 1 minute, my people. Okay? I know what to do, so I will keep the house busy as I'm doing that.
Passports issued by governments in exile, authorities operating outside their home territory, are rarely recognized as official travel documents. Because these governments lack control over a physical territory, most countries refuse to stamp their booklets for fear of damaging diplomatic ties with the home government. However, there are a few unique cases where specific documents or passports are used for humanitarian and practical travel. 1. Tibet, the Identity Certificate, IC. The Central Tibetan Administration, CTA, based in Dharamshala, India, is perhaps the most organized government in exile. While the CTA issues a green book, identity card, to Tibetans, it is not a travel document. The humanitarian solution. To allow Tibetans to travel, the Indian government issues a yellow booklet called an Identity Certificate, IC. Recognition. Because it is issued by India for humanitarian reasons, to help stateless refugees, the IC is accepted by many countries, including the USA, Switzerland, Canada, and several EU nations. It serves as a passport for Tibetans in exile, even though their government is not officially recognized. 2. Belarus. The new Belarus passport. Proposed. Following the disputed 2020 elections, the democratic opposition led by Sviatlana Tsikhanouskaya formed a transitional cabinet in exile. In 2023, after the current Belarusian government stopped renewing passports for citizens abroad, the exile cabinet designed a new Belarus passport. Humanitarian movement. As of early 2026, this document is undergoing a push for recognition in the European Union. Status. While not yet a standard passport, several Baltic states and the European Parliament have discussed accepting it on a humanitarian basis so that exiled Belarusians do not become undocumented. 3. Hmong and other indigenous exile passports. Some groups, like the Hmong or certain Native American nations, issue their own national passports. Recognition. These are almost never recognized for international flight. However, they are occasionally accepted at specific land borders or for ceremonial/humanitarian recognition by sympathetic organizations. For actual international travel, these individuals must almost always use a document from the country where they currently reside, like a refugee travel document. 4. The laissez-passer, the universal alternative. When an exile government's passport is rejected, the humanitarian movement usually relies on the 1951 Refugee Convention travel document. How it works. If you belong to an exile group, like the National Unity Government of Myanmar, you don't travel on an exile passport. Instead, you apply to the country where you are living, e.g., Thailand, USA, Germany, for a refugee travel document. International recognition. This document is recognized by nearly every country that signed the UN Refugee Convention, effectively replacing the need for an unrecognized exile passport. Summary table. Exile group. Document type. Main recognizing countries. Reason for recognition. Tibet, CTA. Identity certificate, IC. USA, India, EU. Humanitarian/stateless status. Belarus, exile. New Belarus passport. Being debated, mostly EU. Political protection/human rights. Myanmar, NUG. Refugee document. Global UN signatories. Legal protection for refugees. Would you like me to find out how a person from a specific exile group can apply for a recognized humanitarian travel document?
Don't worry. We have our passport is coming very soon because USB government is everywhere. US government is in charge. US government is doing everything humanly possible for us to get everything right. Listen to this again, because that is why we must checkmate everything at this movement that we're into right now for us to know that you have a government. Listen. Now, hear your own.
Regarding Ambazonia and the United States of Biafra, USB, the situation is different from that of Somaliland or Western Sahara. While these movements have high visibility, their passports are currently not recognized for international travel by any foreign government. Here is the breakdown of the current status for these two entities. 1. Ambazonia, Southern Cameroons. The Ambazonian governing bodies, including the interim government in exile, have discussed issuing travel documents, but they face a major legal hurdle. They do not yet control a territory with a stable border or have a formal agreement with a neighboring state. Recognition. No UN member state recognizes the Ambazonian passport. Humanitarian movement. Because the conflict, the Anglophone crisis, is ongoing, the primary humanitarian way people from this region travel is as refugees. The practical alternative. Most Ambazonians in exile use a refugee travel document, a blue booklet, issued by host countries like Nigeria, the USA, or Canada. These are recognized globally under the 1951 Refugee Convention. 2. United States of Biafra, USB. The Biafra Republic Government in Exile, BRGIE, led by figures like Simon Ekpa, has recently launched digital identity cards and Biafran passports. Official status. While the BRGIE claims these documents are for Biafran citizens worldwide, they are not legally accepted at international airports or border crossings. Claims versus reality. You may see videos or social media posts claiming that countries like the USA or those in the EU recognize the Biafran passport. This is misinformation. No official government has issued a statement confirming the acceptance of Biafran passports for entry. Humanitarian status. Like Ambazonians, those identifying as Biafran who cannot use a Nigerian passport usually rely on the statelessness or refugee protocols of the country they reside in. Why aren't these recognized like Somaliland? Somaliland has a unique advantage that Ambazonia and Biafra currently lack. 1. Territorial control. Somaliland has functioned as a stable state with its own police, army and currency for over 30 years. 2. Economic interest. Countries like Ethiopia and the UAE need to trade with Somaliland, so they recognize the passport for practical business reasons, not just humanitarian ones. Summary. How to travel in these situations. If someone belongs to these movements and cannot use their parent country's passport, Cameroon or Nigeria, the humanitarian movement usually works through these 3 steps. Option. Process. Recognition. Convention travel document. Issued by a host country, e.g., Nigeria or UK, to a refugee. Hi. Accepted by most countries. Icrc emergency document. Issued by the Red Cross for one-way emergency travel. Hi. For humanitarian emergencies. Alien's passport. Issued by some countries to people who cannot get a passport from their home embassy. Medium. Varies by country. Would you like me to explain how a person in one of these regions can legally apply for a UN-recognized refugee travel document?
That is why I do this comparison. I want to see something from here. Your issue of your documents has already been accepted, that we are documenting our what? Our passport. I listen very carefully. Now, down, anywhere you type USB will come outside. When you do the comparison, you see the difference. Somaliland has been existing for over 34 good years or 30 years. But we just were declared of yesterday. But look at the headways. Look at, they told you why and where we are. It is well official here. You had it clearly. When you hear Somaliland, you hear Amazonia. They told us the difference between us and Somaliland. We are in the same criteria for people of Amazonia. Even though our government might even up to beat them hands down because the government is about your speed. The government is an auxiliary. That is what this government is using. Everything is going to be like film. You will sleep and wake up and hear the news. You see this thing they write here, they will soon change it. It's for sure that they are going to change it. So I want to know everything about us is coming into digital. Because the country, the new country that lack recognition, start existing on the digital gadget. That is how it starts. And we are getting there gradually. USB, Bebano. USB is the moving trend. There is no other. Everything you see now, wayo. Everything na fake. Obo no obro USB all fake. If not for Obo, if not here, United of Biafra USB, public government in Exile. One all fake. Kona aba. O na-ezugo ori na-ego gbakọrọ otere na-egbugo mma na-erigo ego because na-ebu business ya mepere. Tomorrow stop on ihe ekima ihe ga-eme. Had it and hear it clearly. We are getting there. The world will hear about us. We are not stopping. USB movement is forever and ever. Airborne USB government. You are doing us proud. You are doing very well. Everything is where it's supposed to be. We are following the government of the light, where that's going, the government is going to remove darkness. When you listen to all this, you see the right and everything we have to do. Yes, our DPM Tech Train 1, she registered everything. She proved that we are in the bridge before when we are in exile. The government before I made declaration. It's also to prove to the world that is that the same bridge that went to government in exile then no how declare unity of Biafra. That is why she registered. You know what he said? She registered everything 3 in 1. Bridge, exile government, United of Biafra, Buruburu. So that is why they told that she has chased anybody away to claim anything about Biafra. When it's come to legal, that she has that she on about 440 ka ọ zuru ha. Onwere onye maka obonis, onye maka they are sindo and keep bazo. Forget no is that name. You cannot see when I read the history of people of Namibia, you cannot remove SWAPO from people of Namibia because that is the part, that is the structure they use to do their declaration of their independence. That is the same thing for us. The world understands it clearly. What did the children register is legal for Umuoko, for Ndiori, for them to that nothing will happen, that everything has been taken by the owner. You know that Ndeba is not a when you remove the man that owns the family food inside pot, the pot remains empty. So she sweep everything and hold it tight. So that is why if you didn't masha on the moon masha, I hope you understand it clearly. I hope you do understand it. You can remove the Republic government in exile from USB or anywhere. It's our own. Anyway, two documents. Oboye gra akwụkwọ, ga university, ga secondary, ga primary, or ga document here to all young. This is how it is. So there is no two ways about that. But they are boy here. All these things was being registered. Obatobi registered it. And after Obatobi, she after this inside this problem, as she come back from Finland, she went back to go and re-register all of them. That is why they have tried to go after there is nothing they can do. They cannot lay hand on a document that is genuine again. That the authentic documents, all of them has been legalized and seized by Dr. Muzarabeze, US cabinet members. They know what they are doing. Please, I want to end the program here because of my time. So tomorrow we are going to go into another different, like I said before. Let us know if there is any leader who is fighting for a new country. After his arrest, his people remove him, that he's no longer their leader. Let us tomorrow we'll find out. So from me, from here, it is a good night. Thank you for you all for being here. I salute you all, my fellow dear friends. Please, anytime you are going to watch this program, please like this program and share it. Once you are liking it in your page, it becomes a new program in your page. Endeavor to do that and share. Please, I thank you, my fellow dear friends. Until we come back again tomorrow. From me, from here, it is a wonderful day. Bye for now. Peace out.